Recording in progress. Hello, everyone. Let me switch to speaker view. There we go. Okay. Hi, welcome. We are so glad that you guys are here. Hope you can see me okay. Thank you for joining us for our training call tonight. We do have a training call. I'm all blurry now. Okay, that got me a little bit more clear. We have a training call every Monday night at 7:30 for my team, my downline, and my name is Latoya Lackey, by the way. If you are new watching the recording, I have been with Plexus for 6 years, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, I'm a Ruby ambassador. I'm so excited. I'm turning Ruby today. But wanted to get on here with you guys and just give you some good new ambassador training so that you can actually learn tonight and then also share this with others as they join your team and as they're wanting to share the products and the business and opportunities. So again, just want to make very good use of our time tonight. If you have questions, put it in the chat. So very first thing I want to talk to you about is how do you post? How do you share on social media? How do you approach that whole subject? And we like to use what we call attraction marketing. So your very first post that someone may ask you to do when you join is just, hey, put a post out there saying, I'm about to take some new supplements. I'm very excited. I hope that they help me with XYZ. And I would love to get a few people to do this with me so we can hold each other accountable. And you just put that out there. Now, you may or may not get any responses on that. If you don't, that's okay. Okay, I want to go ahead and set that expectation. The win in that circumstance is that you actually posted. That's the win for you. Okay, so when you post, one thing that you want to think about anytime before you post on Facebook, it's very important. Facebook algorithms keep changing, as I'm sure you know. And so one of the things that you want to do before you post, about 10 minutes before you place a post, if you go on and start scrolling through your feed and people that you want to see your post, you want to go on and like and comment on their feed first. Does that make sense? So you want to do that for about 10 to 15 minutes before you make your post. Then when you make your post, don't jump off of Facebook right away, because if you do, Facebook considers that ghosting, okay? So that means you just disappeared. So they don't want you to do that. They want you to stay on and engage with people. So stay on another 5 or 10 minutes after you've posted, continuing to comment on other people's posts. If anyone likes your post or comments on your post, reply back to them. That's going to feed the algorithm, okay? Then once you get your products, and you begin to use the products and you start to feel different, you start to have energy, okay? Danielle did this very well when she began. You want to put things out there that are going to create interest. So you want to be like, hey, I'm really enjoying all this energy I've got and holding your pink drink. Now, have I said the word Plexus in any of these things? No. So you want to just like hold your pink drink, and then people are going to start, what are you taking? What is that? How are you feeling? Like, they're going to start asking you questions. Okay. So the very next thing you do when someone asks you a question is you can respond back to them right there a little bit. Just, like, hey girl, I'll let you know, I'll send you a message, or yes, I'm loving this. I'm feeling so good. The very next thing I want you to do is put that person in a 3-way text message, or Facebook Messenger message is even better. Put them into a 3-way messenger message with your upline. So whoever introduced you into Plexus, you are going to put them in with your upline. Now, I know several of you on here are like, you're brand new, and you're already adding people. So you're like, what am I going to tell people, Latoya? That's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to let you be in the chat with the person. Okay. Then if something's asked and you don't know how to respond, you can then text your upline and tell them, like, here's what's happened. Here's what this person asked me. And then they will text you back how to answer. And then you can text that person. What that's going to do is A, it's going to teach you how to respond. B, it makes you the third party authoritative voice in the room. Okay. That third party validation, because you're that third voice. So you've got your person that commented, the person that posted, and then the upline. So that upline, it makes you that third party validation. That is so important when you're building belief in people. because they know you and they know like you don't do this for a living. They know that you do whatever you do. And so they want to hear from the expert. So at that moment, you're the expert. Okay. So we're going to give you the answers. Great ways to answer questions are to send people videos. Know your videos. On YouTube, there's tons of videos. There's tons of videos in the back office in Plexus. When you log into your back office, you can actually go in and go to resources and go there, and it'll show you all kinds of things there. Okay. So I am just going to mute. Okay. And I'm back. Am I back? There I am. Okay. And so it will show you all kinds of resources there, videos, again, YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. I'm just now really starting to build videos on there, but you can find some things there. Jennifer Leith has a playlist that has for people information on the triplex and on active. She also has a playlist on her YouTube channel, Jennifer Leith. If somebody typed that in the comments there. She also has a playlist in the YouTube channel that is like questions about Plexus, like how long do I need to stay on the products? Why should I have a subscription? What if I'm going through detox? What does that look like? Those types of things. So those are all very good for you to know and for you to send to the person, because that's also third-party validation when someone else is on the video, right? So there's all kinds of things you can do like that, and you'll just learn that as you go. That's the cool thing about Plexus, is we get to earn while we learn, which is wonderful. So I love that. So as you're picking curiosity, you want to do that formula that I told you. Go on, comment on other people's posts, do an attraction post, and then stay on Facebook. And then anyone that comments, go in and put them into three-way chat with your upline. Okay. Other attraction marketing is things like, this Thanksgiving. Okay. You're at Thanksgiving. Maybe you take a picture of your plate that you didn't finish all the food because you were full. And normally you would have ate all that and went back for seconds. Maybe you take a picture of that and you say, man, it feels so good not to overeat this year. People are going to be like, how are you not overeating? What'd you do? Right? So just attraction marketing. Okay. You're just trying to start conversations with people, because that's the number one thing we want to do, is just have conversations. So that leads me to point number 2. So after you're posting, and I suggest to post, I suggest to post like about 3 times a week. Okay. On Plexus, the attraction posting, you want to post at least once a day. I would not post more than twice a day, because it messes up the algorithms with Facebook. I don't know if you knew that. So you want to post once to twice a day. And I would say like 3 a week on Plexus attraction marketing type stuff. Okay. So you'll notice if you ever go and look at my feed, which right now my feed's a little bit different, but normally my feed will have a bunch of like scriptures, or I'll be preaching about something, or, whatever. And then all of a sudden I'll put a Plexus thing in there. So, it just kind of builds your audience, because you're educating your audience. If you think about it, before the average person makes a purchase of any kind, they have had 8 to 12 impressions from that company of advertisement, whether it was a commercial, a magazine, something in the store. They've had 8 to 12 impressions. So if you think about it like that, somebody may need 8 to 12 impressions of you talking about Plexus before they ask you about it. And that is totally okay, because it might take, but every time you post, they might not see it. So it may take you 30 posts, 30 weeks of posting before they have actually seen it 8 times. Does that make sense? So you have to think about all those things. You also have people that will see your post that will never comment, never like, but they were watching you, and then they'll turn around and text you later. So don't be discouraged. Again, if someone people don't comment and go crazy over your post, don't be discouraged. I will tell you what, the response that Danielle and Valerie and stuff has had with their posts have been tremendous. I don't get those kinds of responses on my Plexus posts. So it really just depends on your audience and who they are and where they are in that moment and where you are in your journey. So you definitely want to just, again, create attraction marketing. Number 2 point is belly to belly is best. Okay, that means conversations, actual conversations. So face-to-face conversations, on the phone conversations. I think Danielle got that and is answering that person, I hope. Yep, There we go. Thank you, Danielle. And so you want to do, face-to-face conversations, telephone conversations. Those are really the best ways to bring people in. When I think of my Facebook posting, I think of that more as like a billboard driving down the interstate. Okay. Somebody may or may not see it. They may or may not be in the mood to see it right at that moment. If someone hears my voice, they get on a Zoom call, they see me face to face, they meet me for coffee, anything like that. That's when they feel the excitement that I'm talking about the products. They see my excitement. There's a connection. And that's when people tend to join, is when they have that connection. So don't hide behind text messages if you're trying to share Plexus, because people want to know, they want to ask questions, and they're curious. So don't hide behind text messaging. But we do have a lot of different things that you can do to begin to introduce those conversations. So again, three-way chat is after that. So after you get into a conversation with them, you want to put them into a three-way chat, or a phone call, even a three-way phone call. If your upline is not available and you want to text the one above them or up to me or wherever, and just text us and say, hey, I'm on the phone with somebody, can you jump on a call right now? And then we'll either say yes or no, and then you can three-way call us in and we will talk to them right then, especially if they are looking at wanting to know more about the business. I definitely want you to put them into a three-way call with me or Danielle or Alita, because we want to make sure that they get all their questions answered and that we can share our testimonies with them. Okay, that's so important. So next is Zoom meetings. So when someone signs up, and I'm going to show you how to sign someone up here in just a minute. When someone signs up, you want to have them post right away. And sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry, three-way chats. I skipped the line. Three-way chats. And then your ways that you can bring people in are, several of you were in our Facebook group that we had this weekend. So those are events that we run pretty much every week. We're going to run those for a while. And then you can also do chat parties on Facebook Messenger. So those last 15 minutes, they're really good to put people into. I would say either one of those groups, don't put people in blindly. Like, those need to be people that you're having those conversations with throughout the week. And then, like, say you talk to Susie on Tuesday and then it's Thursday and you're like, hey girl, I know, you haven't been able to, it hasn't been a good time for you to decide, or you were still thinking about it. I'm going to pop you into this chat, or I'm going to pop you into this page, and I want you to take a look at it and let me know what you think. And then you follow up with them. So that's the best way to begin to engage people on a deeper level if they haven't signed up yet or committed. And so those are two great things to do. Now, how do we enroll somebody? When they get ready to enroll, we want to, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, just shared my screen here. So hopefully you guys can see this. So when someone gets ready to enroll, you can send them your referral link directly, or you can give them the following instructions. So you want them to go to plexusworldwide.com. I'm probably going to have to sign out because I'm signed in.
Can you share right quick? I've been telling most of my people, if they can at all, to try their best to sign them up at least the first time if they're wanting them to be a business builder for them, because of if they don't do it right. Can you share just a little bit on that too?
I sure will. I'll do that as we're walking through this. Let me log out though first, because I want it to look like. Yes, I do suggest that you walk the person through it, or you do it yourself. Some people will tell you not to do it yourself. I think you need to walk them through it, or do it while they're on the phone with you, that kind of thing. Or I signed up a lady last night. I was on the phone, she was on the computer. And so because there's a little bit of a trick to our website, because they just changed it. And so I just want to make sure that you guys understand, if you are trying to build a business and you're signing someone up, you want to make sure you follow these steps. So first thing you're going to do is click join. These are the options. It's retail customer. They're going to pay the highest price at that. It's a one-time purchase. It's not a subscription. I don't think I've ever signed up a retail customer, maybe one in 6 years, I'll be honest with you. Just because I don't know why anyone would want to pay the higher price. You can go to VIP as the other option. So a VIP customer gets the same 25% discount that brand ambassadors get. They just have the option to get free product or money. If they decide to get money for using their referral site, they become a brand ambassador. So if they're just going to get free product, enjoy their products, never really tell anybody else about it beyond their first 3 people, that's totally fine. They can stay right there. Okay. We say join now. Now, usually we have spoken to the person and we know what they want. And 9 times out of 10, we're going to be recommending the triplex, unless there's a reason why they can't have the triplex for some certain reason, or unless they're just interested in Joyum face care, we are going to sign them up with the triplex. So that's how I'm going to use for this example. So we're going to say, find my regimen. They can take the quiz. If I'm doing this, I'm just going to hit skip quiz. And I'm going to hit skip quiz again. And then this is the pack that I'm going to get for them. It's the triplex welcome pack, the 109 welcome pack. We add that here. Then we have to pick what kind of slim they want. This is where you add that. So you can do microbiome activating, or you can do the hunger control. Okay. If you think they are going to need more BioCleanse, for whatever reason, if there's someone that does not go to the bathroom very regularly at all, you're going to have to order an extra bottle of BioCleanse separately outside of this welcome pack. Okay. All the welcome packs that we have only come with the 60 BioCleanse. Like I buy the 120 every month because I use a lot. So we want to say add to cart. And then right here, it's going to give you a breakdown. So the VIP customer sign-up fee is $9.95. You let them know that gives them that pricing for a year. Next year, when their annual fee renews, it's $19.95. And they can cancel anytime. But I always equate it to a Sam's or Costco membership. Like it's kind of like that. You're paying an annual fee and you get the discounted rate for the whole year. Does that make sense? Then you have their customer savings. So they're saving $70, $69.85 off of retail, which again, huge savings. So you say add to cart. Now you get to this page. This should have everything you want. If there's anything else that you want to add at this point, you can scroll down and begin to look at other products and add in other things if they want to add something onto their triplex. We also have other combos available and other welcome packs available if they wanted a larger welcome pack, like one of the family welcome packs that had the triplex and some kids stuff in it or something. Those options are available as well. The main thing that you want to do is this right here. This is where people can get messed up, because if for whatever reason they don't pick a welcome pack and they pick one of these down here, you do not get one of our bonuses that Plexus pays us when we sign people up. They have to buy a qualified welcome pack. Has to say welcome pack for us to get our building business bonus, which that is comp plan stuff, and that's a whole other Zoom. So that's the main reason why you want to make sure walk through. So before they hit checkout, you want to ask them, if you're on the phone with them, so make sure it says VIP customer and welcome pack before you hit continue. You go to checkout. This is where you're going to put in their name, email, confirm their email, phone number, birth date. I haven't had anyone ask me why we want their birth date, but if they do, that's why, so that we can share promotional items and discounts with them on their birthday month. Then ambassador ID, this is where you would put in your phone number if you were doing this, or you instruct them to put in your phone number. And then you want to make sure that your name comes up here. So you want to say, put in my number and then make sure it says my name. That means that's going to be the upline that they're going to be under. So you want to do that directly for yourself. So like Valerie's on here and Valerie's mom's on here. If Valerie's mom was to sign somebody up, Valerie's mom puts Valerie's mom's number in right here, not Valerie, because they want it to go under the mom. Does that make sense? Then right here is the referral site. So this is where you're going to put in, usually we do their name, first and last name. Now, if you put in their name and it says that it's taken, you can do a variation of it. So you could do their name with, I've done like their name with the last 4 digits of their phone number, something they're going to remember pretty easily. And so when they get their site, they'll have that address. It'll be mysite.plexusworldwide.com/whatever the name is that you put in. Okay. And when they ask you, well, why do I have a website? Here's how I answer that question. I always say, Plexus loves for us to give referrals the same way as you would refer your favorite restaurant or your favorite movie, but Plexus pays us for it. So you either get free product or you get cash. I prefer the cash, but whatever. If you want free product, you get free product, or if you want cash, you get cash. So that's what I tell them. And I say, you will be using this referral fee. Or this referral link. I always tell them, like, Susie, you're going to be wearing this thing out, because when they see you and see how you're feeling, they're going to ask you what's going on. The same as most of you have with Danielle. And you're going to create a password for them, or they're going to create a password, and then you'll put in the shipping information and the payment information. Once you get down to the bottom of this screen, and I'm not going to do all this just for the sake of examples because I don't have anyone signing up right this second. But once you get down to the bottom of this screen and you put in the payment information and hit enter, it's going to take you this will be back up at the top again. On that next screen right here is where you can enter in a promo code. And right now we have the 10% off promo code going on. And you guys can ask your upline what that is, because I don't know, some people will be watching the replay on this and it won't be active anymore. So that's where you would put that, is on that next screen right there. And then you have to put in their 3-digit code on the back of their card again, pick shipping, and then that's it. Easy peasy. So it literally, the thing I love about our new sign up process is it only takes literally 3 minutes maybe to do it. And Plexus is not asking for social security numbers or anything. They used to have to do that, but now they don't have to do that. And so until you make a certain amount of money with them, and then they're going to ask you for tax purposes. So it's really great. It's super simple, very streamlined. Now, once you get someone enrolled, here's the big things to write down. Once you get someone enrolled, number one thing you want to do is tell them that they need to post. Hey, you want to post. Plexus is what I say. Plexus has done a study that says that if you have 3 people join you, that you are 80% more likely to be successful on the products and be taking the products a year from now. So it's so important for you to have accountability, and just for you to be accountable to yourself by sharing with others. Most people grab their mom, their sister, their best friend. That's my whole spiel. And I tell them to do it. So don't ask them if you feel like sharing, if you really want to, if you're okay with it. No, this is what we do. And just have them share. So when they share, they can share that via, like I said, their Facebook post, do a Facebook post, and we can send them that, here, post this. Okay, we can send that to them. And then you can also start talking to them about, hey, who can we get on? Who do you know that has diabetes? Who do you know that has joint pain? Who do you know that has fibromyalgia, Lyme's disease, Crohn's disease, IBS, PCOS? Just go down through the list. Who do you know? And help them to start thinking of people. Everybody knows somebody, because guess what? Everybody has a gut, and everybody's gut is in the same condition pretty much in America now, because our nutrients are not where they used to be. Our water's not where it used to be. So we always want to do just anybody that we can think of and that really needs the products, we want to approach them first, especially in our immediate circle. So I also tell people, if they're like, well, I really don't know, I say, well, if you were going on away on a girls' weekend, who would you invite? If you're having a bachelorette party, who would you invite? Like, those are the people you go to first, because they're your sisters. They're the ones that are going to come on and do this with you. Your spouse, your husband. There's a lot of husbands that get on this, right? So, grab your spouse, your mom, and your best friend, that kind of thing. So I give them some ideas. help them to know and say, when you talk to them, just put them into a chat with me. You don't have to know all the answers. I will help you. And that's where that three-way chat comes back in. You got it? So we're just duplicating down is all we're trying to do. We're trying to do the same thing every single time. That way, when they sign somebody up, they're doing the same thing. Now, some of you did or did not get this same treatment because your upline, most of you on this call are on Danielle's team, and your upline was running so fast that we couldn't keep up. But which is a great problem to have, which is why we're doing this call. So you want to make sure that you put them into a three-way chat with the upline and say, we're going to help you to answer questions. And we're not going to be pushy salespeople because that's not what we do. What we do is we refer people and we tell people our testimony. We tell them our story. It's the same as when we share the gospel, right? How does it go when you share the gospel? You tell people your story. Your testimony is the most powerful testimony that there is. Then I tell other people's stories, right? Same thing with Plexus. I tell them my story and I tell them other people's stories and I answer their questions. And then at the end of that, I'm like, hey, are you ready? Are you ready to get started? Come do this with us. Are you ready? Are you excited? Let's do it. If they say, no, I'm not ready, then we can talk about, how to respond to those questions. But that's pretty much like, that's where you want to roll with it. Okay. So after you do that, the next thing you do is the next thing that you do is you want to make them a graphic. If you don't know how to make a graphic, get with your upline. They will help you and or do it for you in the beginning. And then you want to go and add them to the Diamond Minds page on Facebook. Okay, that is our team page. That is my upline is Alita Langford. Almost Alita Allen, that was her old name. Alita Langford. And she and I started Plexus together 6 years ago. She's our Diamond upline. And so it's her whole team, all of her legs are on that page. It's a great community. It's a wonderful place to get information, to ask questions, to share success stories. It's a great community. So you want to add them to the Diamond Minds page, and then you want to announce and welcome them. You have probably already been added and welcomed yourself. I hope so, if you're on here. So if you are, then you want to do that for that's everybody, you do that for your own level ones. That's your job when you sign somebody up. Okay, if you need help the first couple of times, we can help you, but then it's your job. Okay, and so welcome them there. The next thing is you want to talk to them about the 4 C's as well. It's really 5 C's. But Cheryl Muller, who is on our team, gave us these the other day, and I really liked them. I'm going to type them up, but for right now, I'll just tell you what my notes said. So number 1 is you want to talk to them about being consistent. You want to tell them you want to be consistent on these products and give these products at least 6 months. This is not lose 30 pounds in 30 days. This is not a fad or a diet scheme or something. This is gut health and being healthy. People lose weight. People feel better. People start moving and exercising again because their gut health is better. So you want to explain to them when you take medicine, that takes care of your symptoms, right? It takes away the symptoms. When you take all natural gut health and healing, like with Plexus, it's going to take care of the root problems, not just the symptoms. So it takes time. A general rule of thumb with holistic approaches is if you have been struggling with something for X number of years, it takes that many months for your body to heal from it once you start to address it. So if you've been struggling with IBS for 5 years, it may take you 5 months to see the full results of what these products will do for you. Does that make sense? So you always want to keep them on, say you want to do this for at least 6 months. And I always say, commit to yourself. Don't commit to me, but commit to yourself to do this for 6 months because you are worth it. The second thing is to be consistent. They need to be consistent. Take the products every single day. If people are not taking the products every single day, they will be the ones that will call you and be like, it's not working. Have you been taking it every day? Well, no. But it doesn't work on the shelf. You got to get it in you. So make sure you explain that to them. Even my pink drink, for instance, I say this all the time. If I forget my pink drink in the morning, I'll take it anytime during the day. I take it 7, 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, go to bed. The main thing is don't skip a day. Do not skip a day. It's great if you can take everything at the same time every day, but it's not a big deal. Do not skip a day. That's the big deal. So be consistent. Number 3 is allow me to coach you. Coaching is number 3. So commitment, consistent coaching. Tell them, allow me to coach you. Do not ghost me when I text you. And do not ghost me when I text you and I'm like, hey, are you drinking water? How are things going? Because we want to start you slowly. We're going to start you slower than what it says on the label when you get it. That's very important to remind them of, because they'll get it and they'll read it and they'll start taking that. And if people start too fast with the products, they can go into detox or die off. And that's not fun. So we want to start people slow, and we want to bring them up gently so that their bodies are adjusting and they're not having to go through any kind of detox or die off. So starting them slow means you're going to tell them to start with 1 ProBio 5 at night before bed, 1 ProBio 5, and either 1 or 2 BioCleanse at night. I usually say 1 ProBio 5 and 2 BioCleanse. You're always going to take more BioCleanse than you're taking a ProBio 5. So when you go up to 2 ProBio, you're going to go up a BioCleanse. So I usually tell them to take 2 at night, 1 in the morning at that point. Does that make sense? So we're going to move them up slowly. And if somebody comes at you and says, you know, I had one today that was like, I've got serious gas going on, bad gas. And I'm like, well, what are you taking? And they told me, and I'm like, whoa, like they started out on, it was like 2 or 3 probiotics where they started. And I'm like, girl, back it down. You know, it's like, you're going to hurt yourself, you know, because these things are killing off, you know, toxins in your body. And if you go too fast, your body starts to fight back. And that's when you like, oh, I got a headache, or I'm bloaty, or I'm tired, you know, all that kind of stuff will happen. So we want them to go slow. We also have a video that Plexus did. It's about, I think it may be a minute long, minute and a half long, on detox. So you can actually look up detox, Plexus detox video. Many of you will get a text message from me. It's from another phone number, but it is me sending it. It's just an automated send, but I respond. And it'll give you some of these videos, and I send that to my entire downline. So everybody's getting those text messages from me. And no matter whose team they're on under me, they're all getting those text messages, because we want another point of contact. And we want them, if they can't get in touch with you and they have a question, they can ask me. Okay. So we always want to do that. You want to ask people if they're going to the bathroom regularly. I know we get paid to talk about poop. It's the best job ever. I love it. So we ask them if they're going to the bathroom regularly. I tell people, you want to get to where you're going to the bathroom 3 to 4 times a day. As many times as you eat is how many times you want to go to the bathroom. And you want to be quick in and out. You want to be able to get in there, get your business done, and get out. Okay, that's very important. So that's what you're looking for. Anything beyond that, any straining, any stressing, any like once a day, once every 2 or 3 days, that is not how God intended our bodies to work. So that's what we're trying to work up to. So we're going to keep increasing the BioCleanse and increasing the ProBio until we get them to that point. Now that could take 2 months. It could take 2 weeks. It could take 3 months. You know, it could take a minute for that to happen, but it's very important that we stay on that track and getting that done. Good. Okay. Now next, hey Tanya, I just now saw you on there. The next C is communication. Oh, I already said that. Yeah, don't ghost me. And then for them to ask questions and let them know that 3-way chat that you put them in with your upline, that's a safe place for them to ask questions. And guys, we get asked all kinds of questions. Okay. That's totally okay. Let them know that it's a safe place. They can ask anything they want and we will help them. Okay. And if we don't know the answer, we know people that do. So always know that there's an answer out there. The last C that I want you to know, commitment, consistency. You're going to coach them on their products. You need them to communicate with you. And then the last C is community. You want to plug them into our community. I don't know any other company in the world that cheers each other on like Plexus. I mean, the way our comp plan works, there is no backbiting or fighting over people. There's no territorial things going on. The way our comp plan works, it helps all of us to help each other. So the good thing about that, the genius in that, I mean, I totally believe God gave the person that did the comp plan that idea, because the genius in that is that we are all cheering each other on all the time. So on the Diamond Minds page that you've already added your friend to, you will see they will post sometimes about different events, different promotions happening, and people will be cheering each other on. We also have what we call Power Hour every morning, Monday through Friday. Power Hour happens, and I can give you the link. If you want to write it down, you can. It's a Zoom ID. It's 615-423-2004. 615-423-2004. If anyone ever asks, that's Alita's Zoom link. So if you ever hear somebody say Alita's Zoom link, that's the number they need you to dial. Okay. The password is always 123456. And then my Zoom link is the one you dialed into tonight, the 615-299-6794. So if it's Latoya Zoom link, it's that one. Passcode 123456. So Monday through Friday, we have Power Hour at 9:25 Central Time. We get on and we pray. And I love that about our team. We get on and we pray, they read a devotion. Whoever's leading it that day kind of leads that section, and everybody jumps in and prays. We can, take turns to pray. It's really awesome. And then at 9:30, they hit record and we do 30 minutes of mindset coaching. So we're going to help you. The biggest thing that you can develop your $1 million asset in this business is between your ears. Okay. So the biggest thing you can develop is your mindset. If you ever have a limiting belief, or you think, man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can be a leader. I don't know if any of those things, you want to figure out the root of that and tackle that, because to be successful and go all the way to the top, all the way to diamond. And I would love for every one of you on this call to be a diamond. For everyone to go to the top in the company, you're going to have to overcome some limiting beliefs. And I can tell you from experience, I dove into that just even in the last few months. And the last 2 months, I've been doing 3 coaching calls a week, like me getting coached 3 times a week. I dove in, and I was doing Power Hour 5 times a week. So you're talking 8 times a week of coaching to get what's in here straight. But when it clicked, it clicked. Okay. And when it clicked, everything changed. So work on that. Listen to Power Hour. If you're saying, well, I'm at work during that time, that's fine, because there is a recording. So you can get the recording on the Diamond Minds page. If you go up to the top and scroll across the little gray selections at the top, there's one that says guides. And in the guides section, the Power Hours are guide number 8. You can go back and watch a replay. If you're at a job where you can't maybe listen to it live, but you can listen to recordings all day or music all day in your earphones, go in and just play Power Hour after Power Hour. It's such good training. These women pay $10,000 and more to go and coach with people, and then they come back and give us all the goodies. So by all means, this is good coaching. Take advantage of it. Okay. So we do that every single Monday through Friday, Power Hour. That's so important. And then we have our Monday night calls. So Monday night at 7:30 to 8:30 is this team call. Okay. And that's my team. And we'll be doing training next week. We can talk about next week. Actually, we won't be having a call next week because I'm going to be in Alabama. And Alabama, I always want to say Alabama like Forrest Gump. I don't know why. It's just what I do. But I'm going to be down there with Danielle's team. So if you were on Danielle's team, I want you to come and meet me. I want to hug your neck. And I'm so excited. So we're going to be down there with Danielle's team on Monday night. So we will not be having the call Monday night. However, the other Monday nights, we do have the call, 7:30. You can come in here, get training. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. If I have a topic that week, we'll hit it. If I don't, we'll just ask questions, overcoming objections. How do we do this? You just tell me what you want and I will train you on it, because I want you to get everything you need. Then at 8:30 Central, we jump over to Alita's Zoom link. So from 8:30 to 9, just 30 minutes. That's where you want to invite everybody on your team that's brand new, that just ordered their triplex. You want to invite them to that Monday night call at 8:30. And anybody that is a potential, that they're like, this sounds interesting. I'm not buying yet, but I'm interested, then you say, well, why don't you come to this call at 8:30? Come to this Zoom. It's 30 minutes. We're going to tell them about their triplex. We're going to tell them how to take their triplex. And then we're going to share some testimonies. And then we're just going to answer any questions that they have. It's real simple format, exact same format every single week. Okay. So that's a great place to bring all your newbies and your potentials. Great place to go. So community is where it's at, guys. I love it. Let me see if there's anything else I'm missing. I think that's it. What questions do you guys have? I want you to either wave your hand, I can unmute, or we can put it into the chat. What questions do you have about sharing or getting someone started, signing them up, all of that? Another thing that I say, if someone says, you know, well, I don't know if I'm going to tell anybody because, you know, I want to take the products for myself first, and then I'll tell somebody. If they say that, the next thing that I do is I share my mom's story. Because my mom, when I started, she had polymyalgia rheumatica, which is like a fibromyalgia, but it gets into your joints instead of your muscles. She had been in debilitating pain for 5 to 6 years, high doses of prednisone. Her body was swollen. She couldn't move. It was horrible. I don't have polymyalgia rheumatica, but I was reading, as I was reading about testimonies. By the way, if you want to see other testimonies, there's a page on Facebook called Your Wellness Community. Your Wellness Community. It's got little tree sprout things on it. You can go and join that page, and you can look up anything that you want to in the search bar of that page, and testimonies will pop up. Okay. So I had been reading on that page and saw that people with fibromyalgia and joint pain had been getting relief through the triplex. So I would never, it doesn't matter how long I take the products, I'm never going to have a testimony that I could share with my mom about joint pain. Right. So I said, Mom, why don't you come and try these with me? So she came and tried them with me from the very beginning. And guys, 3 weeks later, my mom was standing in front of me with tears in her eyes. And she said, I'm getting out in my yard today for the first time in 5 years. Right. Guys, if I would have waited 3 months, 6 months to see how I felt before I told my mom, she would have been in pain that much longer. Why would I do that? So that's exactly what I tell people when they say, I want to wait till I have a testimony. I say, you know what? I really respect that your word means a lot and you want to keep to your word. But there are people struggling with things that you don't struggle with. You don't struggle with migraines, but your mom does. You don't have diabetes, but your dad does. Like, you can be helping your family if you just share. So I encourage them to share. The other thing, I was just thinking of another thing that people say sometimes. I'm trying to think. It just went out of my head. So I don't know. Okay. So Miss Tanya, yes, if you want to unmute and you can ask your question.
I have a friend, Amy. Actually, she was on the call last week, and she said that she's interested, but she still wants to wait and she wants to think about it.
Okay. So you want to know how to respond to her?
Yes.
Okay. So when someone says,
Oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. She also said she didn't know why should she share with somebody else,
Okay.
To get 2 other people to come with her.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. So when someone says that, I'm going to go backwards there. So when they say they don't know why they should share, that's where I go into sharing is going to make you more successful on the products. Because when you have people do this with you, you're 80% more likely to be doing it a year from now and 80% more likely to be successful. So Plexus incentivizes us for you to get some people together. Now, if you ask somebody to do the 3 people and they say, well, I don't want a business, I'm not trying to sell it. I'm like, honey, 3 people is not a business. That's just you and your friends. Okay. Beyond that, if you want to build a business, we're more than happy to help you and train you. That's where we come in. But 3 people, that's just you and your friends doing this. This is you and your family. It's you and your husband and your mom getting healthy together. Right. So that's how I would explain that. Then if they say that they don't know if they're ready yet, that means one of 2 things has happened. Either one, we haven't created enough need for them to see that, hey, because always remember this, that when the want to change outweighs the pain of staying the same, people will do it, right? So when the pain of change outweighs the pain of staying the same, people will do it. So when somebody says, well, I don't know, that means, okay, we haven't really gotten down to why they would do it. Because when you say, okay, well, what if, if they say, well, I struggle with my energy, and they're a mom and young kids and stuff. And you say, if you had energy, what would that look like? What would you do? Would you get out and play with your kids more? Is that worth it? You begin to just build that idea of, because sometimes people, I'm a firm believer, sometimes people are scared to feel good. I know that sounds crazy, but they are, because they're like, if I feel good, that changes my life. Then I have to be involved. Then I have to, then I have no excuse. I have no excuse to lay around and not be involved, right? I have no excuse not to do something. So it's like, sometimes we just have to figure out what it is that they want, and then create that sense of need, being like, look, here's how this can help you. If it doesn't help, we have a 60-day money back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. You can take that 60-day money back guarantee 6 months from now. You can call them and say, I need the last 60 days back, please. That's how good Plexus is, and they will honor it. The cool thing is we have less than 1% return rate on our team, guys, because people love these products and they stay on them. I've had people on these products that have been on these products every single month for 6 years. They will not come off of them because of how good they feel. So you can believe in the products. So if they're not believing in the products yet, we haven't shared enough testimonies, or we haven't gotten down to that root cause. If they say, well, it's a money issue, the very next thing that I say is, if money was not an issue, would you buy right now? If money was not an issue, let's take that over here. Would you buy right now? And if they say, well, I'll need to talk to my husband. Money really wasn't the issue. You got to go talk to your husband. If he says yes, would you buy? Are you ready to get started? So you can kind of find out what their real objection is at that point. But if it is money, and this time of year, money is a deal because the holidays are coming up, that's where I tell people, you know what? We're going to help you. Let's get 3 people to do this with you. Right now, with the promotions Plexus has going on right now. Now, if you're watching this recording later, this may not be the promotion, but right now, if you have 3 people join you in your first 30 days, and sometimes I'll just leave that part out, but I'm like, if you have 3 people join you right now, that's $360 that you're going to make. That will pay you back for your products this month, and it will give you money for your products next month. That gets you at least 60 days on this to let's see what these are going to do for you. If you don't like it, you get your money back, right? So that's where we're asking them to trust us. We're asking them to take a leap of faith. Sometimes people have to get their 3 people together and sign up, bam, 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 like that, so that they know they're getting that money back. That's totally fine. Like, we'll help you. We'll go ahead and host a little Facebook party for you, or you invite all your friends to Zoom, and we'll tell them about the triplex. You invite them on Monday night. Let's get your 3 people and let's get you signed up. Like, let's not wait. Why would you wait? Why do you want to wait till January to start caring about your health, right? So things like that, you can just begin to ask them questions, because if you ask people enough questions, they'll tell you what the real deal is, usually. So who else has another question? I can't see everybody. I'm going to put this back on gallery view. There we go, so I can see everybody. Sorry. I couldn't see you a minute ago, Valerie, so I come back and you look like a big teddy bear. I was like, okay, so who has another question? You put one in the chat, or you can unmute and ask. I will wait. Okay, go ahead, Tanya.
Sorry, I have a lot of questions, I guess. I do have another friend. I actually just started working, and but she has cancer. You know anyone that this has helped with cancer? I saw the ones about lupus and MS.
Mm-hmm.
But,
so,
yeah.
I would say go to Your Wellness community page and look that up. Look up whatever kind of cancer that she has, and look up some testimonies. If somebody says, I want to take this to my doctor, I say absolutely. Like, you need to feel comfortable with it, especially if you have health concerns. I totally get that. By all means, take it to your doctor. What questions what are you concerned about? I usually ask that, because here's my deal. If it's somebody that's got cancer, they're going through treatments, they're on a particular regimen, their doctor doesn't want them taking any vitamins or like anything, that's something they need to discuss with their doctor before they get on Plexus. If it's someone that's like, well, I don't know what's in it, but then they're sitting there drinking a Mellow Yellow or a Mountain Dew, I'm like, you really don't care. Yeah, I mean, really, it's like, let's talk about ingredients for a minute. Like, these are plant-based, they're, non-GMO, they're vegan, they're healthy for you, they're supplements, they're healthy for you. You're drinking a Mountain Dew. If somebody says that, well, it's kind of expensive, either A, we haven't built the need. Again, they don't see the need in it. Or we can say, okay, let me ask you a question. Do you drink Cokes? Do you snack? If you drink a Coke and a snack every single day, that's $3 to $4. Guess what? When your blood sugars are balanced, you're not even going to want that stuff anymore. And that'll cover your Plexus. Like, just about everybody I know, if you've been on Plexus for more than 2 weeks, has your eating habits changed? Yes. Has your grocery bill gone down? Do you eat less? Do you not want the same junk anymore? Okay, so you can tell them, girl, let me tell you, my grocery bill went down. I don't drink 5 Dr. Peppers anymore. I mean, you can just tell them, like, that's the money that I spend on Plexus. Like, it's a no-brainer, So you can, there's things like that you can answer with them as well. But I do always encourage them if they have a health
You just
ailment.
open with the brush. You're getting it. No, you can't
Well,
open it. You're not doing anything with it. You just want one after the.
Somebody would get in trouble with their kids. So, you always want to, that's so funny. She's going to laugh later. She's going to be like, oh no, they didn't know. So you always just want to ask them their root cause, their questions, try to alleviate their questions, try to answer their questions as much as you can. Cause I don't want people to feel pressured or, I'm not trying to sell crack, right? I'm trying to help people feel better. So if you want to feel better, I want to help you feel better. If you don't want to feel better, then go drink a Mountain Dew. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. So it's like, if you're looking, and I tell people, if you're looking to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, that's not what this is. That's like the diet doctor. That's not what this is. If you're not ready to and I've told people no before because they're like, well, I'll try it for a month. I'm like, you're not ready. Like, really, I appreciate you wanting to try it for a month, but if you'll commit to yourself and commit to yourself 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, commit to yourself to really try this and give it time to get into your system, I can coach you and we can get you there. If you only want to commit for a month just to maybe kind of take it, I don't know if you're ready. And then I'll have people, they'll either be like, you know what, I'm not ready. Like, I'm gonna get through the holidays. And I'll be like, all right, I'll see you in January. It's fine. And then, or they might say, you know what, you're right. I need to make a commitment to myself and I need to do this. I need to do it right if I'm going to do it. I need to do it well. And then they make the commitment and they do it and they love it. Right. So, yes, I will be posting this recording on my YouTube page on the Plexus. I think it's called Latoya's Diamond Mines is my YouTube page. I have a couple of them out there, sorry. But look for Latoya's Diamond Mines Plexus, and I will be posting it there. And we can also post the recording link in the chat, Danielle, for your team. I think Sarah's on your team. So we can post it there as well. Okay, we've got 4 minutes left before we have to jump on Alita's call. So really more like 2 minutes so that we can jump over to the other call. So does anybody else have another question?
If nobody else does, could you share right quick while they're on here, like if they're just wanting it specifically for weight loss, still go ahead and do the triplex and then add like the active or the fat burner, the carb burner, whatever it's called with it. Correct?
Yes,
Okay.
we do have a weight
And
loss
then-
welcome pack, but I always tell people
What is it
I
called?
would rather you start with the triplex and let's get your gut health right. And then next month we can begin to add in the lean for meal replacement or MetaBurn or block or balance, But I'm like, let's focus on your gut health first. Because if we don't attack that, it's just gonna come back on when you lose it.
Okay. And then how soon, I know you touched on this right quick. How soon, like, do they know when to add another probiotic?
Okay.
I know
great.
that most people, like, they'll know, okay, I'm not using the breaststream enough. I need to up my BioCleanse. But when do we know, okay, I'm feeling really good, or how does that work?
So normally with that, people usually will start to try to go up on their own at some point. If they're asking me, I usually tell them stay on the 1 for a good week to 2 weeks. It depends on the condition of their gut before they go up to 2. What I tell them is if you go up to 2, you need to look for some things. If you start getting a headache, if you start getting, like I said, gas, acid reflux, any of that stuff starts happening and wasn't happening before, then you may not be ready to go up a pill. Now with the ProBio 5, you can go all the way up to 4, but guys, it took me a long time to get to 4, like a long time. I tried to go to 4. I would say I've been on the products for almost a year, and I was taking like 2 to 3 ProBio 5s a night. I tried to go up to 4 during my first year, and it felt like I had a rock in my stomach. I was like, oh, this is not right. And so I did that for like a week, and I'm like, I back down to 3. And then I never went up above 3 until recently. I went back up to 4, because 4 is where you're like really attacking that candida yeast. And then once you get all that gone, you can back down. 2 is the managing dose. So once you've gone from 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so that's kind of where you can stay. Right now, I'm still on 4 because I know when I back down to 3 or to 2, I get a little bloaty. So I'm like, there's still stuff in there that's trying to, because you're always putting new stuff into our bodies. So obviously I'm still putting bad stuff in my body. Yes. We won't talk about sweet potato casserole. I just ate a minute ago for dinner. But so, as you're still putting stuff into your body, you're going to be fighting stuff. So that's kind of how I judge it, Danielle, is to say, okay, if you feel yourself getting a headache, and if you have any weird stuff, detox type stuff, you may not be ready to move up. You may need to stay on it another week and then try again. So that's kind of the rule of thumb. And then what are you asking, Sarah? I just already have.
Well, I already have migraines, and I have acid reflux. So how would I know that, once I start going up, whether it's a good time or not?
Right. So you're going to feel different. So as you're on the 1 pill, that 1 pill is going to start to kill off the stuff that's causing what's already there. Right. So if you wait, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks even, and then you go up to 2 pills, you'll feel like a different kind of, like, if you've ever done a fast, like for religious purposes or anything, and you get like a fasting headache, like that kind of stuff is what happens, or you go through detox. Sometimes will be, you'll feel like additionally bloated that day, or you'll be like, oh, I need to go lay down. If it's just one day, I suffer through and I try to, if that happens for 2 or 3 days, I'm like, yeah, I need to back down again. So that's
Okay.
where you want to communicate with us so we can help coach you. Good. All right. We need to jump on the other call. Thank you, ladies, for being on here. If you want to jump on the other call, that's at that 615-423-2004 number. And that would be me, Alita, and Lisa. And that will be 20 to 30 minutes. And we will go through the triplex and answer questions, give some testimonies. So thank you so much for joining us tonight.